And we're ready for our third game of the day. It's KV and Lewisville. Both of these teams still remain winless as of right now. Lewisville is 0-2, but has battled incredibly, losing both games by just a goal, losing 5-4 to Grand Lake in the first game of the tournament. And yesterday as well, took a loss 4-3 to Restigouche. They scored a goal last second in that one, and KV is 0-1. They lost 3-0 to Restigouche North just yesterday at the K, and they look to keep their hopes alive today. In net for KV, stick with number 1, Owen McIntyre, and in net for Lewisville, there's a whistle here, and I believe we have a penalty call. And in net for Lewisville is number 29, Ryan Gallant. And it looks like we're going to start off with a KV power play. It's Alex Avwan heading to the box. So KV will start this game quickly on a man advantage. It's Gillis battling up with number 19, Lidet. Moving his way behind the net is Mays. And another call, a cross check. Unsure of exactly who. And it looks to be number 4 on Lewisville, Alex Boudreau. So a quick 5-on-3 to start our game. So we start. And it's Sebastian Gillis that'll get KV on the board with a snipe that is almost impossible for any goalie to save. So it's now 1-0 KV, and they still have a power play. Here's Gillis again, the goal scorer, throwing to the side of the net. And that one hit side of the post and will go out. Here's a shot. Mays trying to chance. Here at the blue lines, Marshall shooting, save, rebound, another save from Gallant. Still loose out in the slot. Another save. That was about 3 of them from Ryan Gallant. And net is off. Or another penalty call. This time I believe it's going the other way. And it's going to be interference against Liam Poirier. So we'll have a little bit of 4-on-4. And then a bit of a Lewisville man advantage. Blackman holding it at the line. Cleared in by LeClaire. Knocked away by McIntyre. And picking up in the corner is Halpine. Moving across the boards, Hambrook. A lot of pressure from Halpine, lifting his stick, tying him up, and that will get it over to Broderick. Broderick, a dish to McNeil. McNeil skating in past Blackman. McNeil still in with it, going around the net. McNeil turning around and scores! And it's Lucas McNeil that makes it 2-0 KV. early in this game with a turnaround shot. And again, these KV goals, they have found the top corner, which is pretty much impossible for these goalies to save. And sometimes a common trend with this Lewisville team, they start off a bit slow and they get better and better as the game progresses. They're down 2-0 here in the first 3 minutes, and they hope to turn it around. There's a pass or for Kennedy. Braden Kennedy clears it in the corner. It's Gracewood. Moving around in the net, still traversing the net. Now maybe a 3-on-2 coming back the other way. Kennedy's back checking quickly. Now a 1-on-2. Here's Gracewood. Moving in, trying to get around Gagnon, throw it out in front. That one's taken away, and we now have a Lewisville power play. That'll be on for just under a minute. Gracewood pass in front, and going around the net now, McNeil. McNeil trying to send it to the blue line. No one there. So KV has just iced it on themselves. Broderick being chased by Gazard. Gazard throwing it out. Kennedy, the shot turned away. Rebound, Matthews just couldn't quite get a stick on it. Shot all the way down the ice. So Lewisville having a chance to regroup and reset a little bit here after just getting the chance on the power play. There's Gracewood. He'd throw it back to his defense. They're back into the Lewisville zone. Gagnon with a large stretch pass up to Kennedy. Well, across the other side, it's Matthews and Gracewood that chase it for their respective teams. There's a pass up that just gets out of the reach of Steers. Taken back and for the Lightning. Pass up. Kennedy will just barely deflect it, so no icing behind the net. Gracewood now goes and chases it with Matthews. It's cleared outside the zone. Skating back for it is McNaughton. Throws it against the bench, and it will go out of play. So we'll have a whistle at 10:51, and that'll just have enough time to kill the penalty. So even strength for now. 3 penalties in the first 3 minutes. Being a hot start for KV. Those goals, if you're just tuning in, those are from, first one from Sebastian Gillis, and the next from Lucas McNeil. Those just a couple minutes apart from each other. Cleared in. Still in the KV zone. McGoldrick crashing against the boards with Avwan. Thrown back out in front. This will just barely not be held in. Lohman had tried to see his teammate Longo at the blue line, and just out of his reach, was just unable to be kept in. Now Lewisville in the offensive zone. McNaughton trying to hold the line. Just gets sent out past Blanchard. Skating back for it. Avwan trying to send it by Lohman. Does get across the boards. It's now with Longo. Down at the KV blue line. Banked off the boards. Sees Mays. Mays stepping on a McNaughton. McNaughton stumbling to his feet. Mays still with it. Going around the net, being chased by Blanchard. Waiting, there's a shot that's saved by Gallant out in front. Face-off win, cleared in by KV. Bouncing up and around. Here's a shot from Mays. They score! It takes an unlucky hop towards Ryan Galano. Weird deflection and into the net. And that's Ethan Halpine that finds a loose puck. Just has a shot on net. Taking a weird bounce, and it slides into the bottom of the net. Now 3-0 in favor of KV. Early in this one, they didn't look all too sharp yesterday versus Restigouche, but they have sure turned up their game since yesterday. And they're going to need these 2 wins today to try to find their way into a playoff spot. There's Hammer being sent down. 2 Lightning players being sent down. Cleared back into the zone. KV now exits. The goal scorer, Halpine. Up the right side, a turnaround pass off of Doan, and we'll just be short of the crease before it's taken away behind the net. There's a flip up along the boards. This one caught down. Here's Mays trying to move to the middle. Behind the net he goes. The fake going the other way. There's tons of pressure being applied from Boudreau. And we'll have a penalty call. And it's going to be a trip against Damian Boudreau at 9:05. So it's another KV man advantage. Definitely an unfortunate turn of events here for Louisville, going down 3-0 within the first 6 minutes. And now are shorthanded. Here's McNeil waiting and shooting, and that one redirects wide. Working his way into the corner. Goggin. Unable to get it to the front, so it's flipped down by Liret. KV regrouping. It's Mays sending one up to Broderick. To the middle, McNeil. McNeil on Gagnon with speed. McNeil, shot, scores! Lucas McNeil gets his second of the game. This one on the man advantage, just cutting in and finding a hole somewhere on Gallant in the net. And it's now going to be 4-0. 8.5 still to play in this first period. McNaughton tried to put it along the wall. Fanned on it a little bit. It goes to the blue line. Here's a shot that's saved and turned away by Gallant. A good effort at the blue line by Silas Searley. McNaughton, rim around the boards. Longo going to find it at the line. Longo waits and fires. It's deflected and saved by Gallant. Again, Louisville just trying to stop the bleeding a little bit. They've had a rough start to this game, and that goes without saying. Getting into a bit of penalty trouble and just getting unlucky bounces not in their favor has led them to being down 4-0 early in this first period. A shot from the blue line, saved by Gallant. McNunn throws it over to Kennedy on the left side. Kennedy, who's just outside, moves over the red line and will throw it in. This one will end up in the corner. Gizzard going up against the man, accidentally taking the stick out of the hand of Searley. Some aggressive puck battles as Matthews is flattened behind the net. Now moving out is Lohman. Lohman for Steers. In the shot. Save. Lohman looking for a rebound. Gallant was spun around, but it's sent to Gizzard for Kennedy. Kennedy moving around one. May have Matthews with him. Kennedy in shooting, and that one's saved by McIntyre. Kennedy at the line. Put down behind the net, and a big collision with Matthews. Gizzard to the middle for Kennedy. Still loose. And a bit of a scrum afterwards. Kennedy just trying to find the puck loose out in front. So Lewisville will now go back to the man advantage at 7:13 of the first. Going to the box is Thomas Longo. He's getting a bit of body contact in there with Matthews, and he's been getting knocked around for this first little bit, the first 8 minutes. Matthews has taken a beating so far for this Lewisville team. And now they finally get time for a bit of a man advantage. Here at the blue line, Boudreau waiting, shooting, and that one misses the net. Lucas Blackman takes it, fires, saved by the pad of McIntyre. KV winning the draw. They take it outside the zone. Working his way to the opposite end is Mays. Boudreau. Rimmed around for Avwan. Avwan giving it away. Here's Gillis with a little toe drag, but loses the puck. Here's Blackman. Trying to go off the boards for Avwan. Victorious in the puck battle is Halpine. He has one of the goals so far. Blanchal Little backhand pass. I tried to put that to Avon. It's taken away by Mays. He'll got it in himself. Mays in along the left. Still on his feet. The shot. It's above the crossbar. Rimmed all the way back. Taken and shot in by Nathan Marshall. Had a good bit of time. Blackman in his own end. Fires one and doesn't hit his target. And icing to be called. KV only has 3 men on the ice. They'll get another one coming on. And that is Maloney, who pops up off the bench. Lightning regroup. Less than a minute to go on their man advantage. It's Boudreau. Speeding up, that's Leclerc rather. Dropping it, then getting it back behind the net. A perfect give and go. Leclerc still with it. Looking for an option. Leclerc with the fires. And that one had been blocked out in front by Gracewood. Shot back into the Lewisville blue line. Lidet waits, sees Leclerc. Gracewood turning back and firing it down the ice, so less than 30 seconds to go. Lightning still looking for their first real chance. Leclerc to the middle, accidentally turning it over. It was Broderick that had been steaming in, trying to get a shot off. Here's Doan to the middle. Lidet had gone poke checked off. Doan had almost accidentally ran into McNeil. McNeil skating back to his backhand. Shot saved by Gallant and kicked over to the corner. The power play now expired for the Lightning. There's a shot in from Hambrook. Donor in the corner. Trying to look out in front. Now it's taken by McNeil to 2-on-2. Defending it was Gagnon and Lidet. It's dumped in with a hard shot that hits off the glass. Here's Lidet. Back with it, working up with speed. It was Dominic Lidet still in with his backhand to the net, and it's wide. Had taken a weird hop, unsure if it was shot off or just went on the net. McNaughton with the shot, and that one missed by a decent bit. Cleared in by the backhand of Hambrook. It's up for Broderick. Cleared out to the middle. McNaughton skating back, working up his steers. Backhanded in, not very hard, and that will be passed at the red line for Hambrook. Hambrook going across to the other side. What a blind pass to Gazard. Gazard stepping in and was tied up and unable to get a shot off. Gazard leaving that out. The shot is just wide of the net. McNaughton at the blue line. His shot banked off the feet of Lohman. That will be cleared out. This one looks to be going down. May not be an icing. McNaughton chasing after it. It's just called an icing. Less than 4 to go. A clean face-off win that goes right in between McNaughton and Boudreau, so they now must go back to their own end. Boudreau skating around, passing up. McNaughton leaving that off for Matthews. McNaughton again trying to get a whack at it. It's Boudreau. Puts it high in the air. Glove down by Gazard as he enters the zone, and he's just offside in doing so. After KV wins the draw, it's brought in by Mays. Leaves that off for Gillis with the shot. Saved by Gallant. Rebound had been right next to him. Now it's behind the net. Taken again, Matthews. Put it behind the net. Boudreau. Skating around behind his net. Still looking for options. Keeps faking, going left, going right. Boudreau to Gazard. It's sent high and into the zone. Kennedy's going to go chase after Longo. Longo along the board, stopped by the feet of Gazard. Gazard down for Kennedy, who tried to throw that in front for Matthews, who was being tied up. Blackman holding the line and trying to prevent Maloney from getting it out of the zone, and it'll be shot out by KV. And down the ice, It'll go. At the line, Damian Boudreau waits and shoots, and that one never got through. I've one. Curling back, trying to go up to the line. This one's going to be poked up, potential 3-on-1. Working out with it. There's a pass to Broderick, and that one just too high in the air for him. Broderick throwing that out in front. Still loose out in the slump before it's passed over. Try to get that one over to Blanchard. Broderick moving his way through the middle. Broderick shooting off the iron. And almost a pinpoint of a shot from Broderick goes off the post and wide of the net. It's rimmed around. Blanchard for Lewisville, trying to hold the zone. Shot in, cleared into Villeno. Behind the net, Blackman and Broderick. Boudreau in there as well, now getting pinned up and taken to the ground. Broderick still winning the puck battle, thrown out in front. The shot hit the side of the net. Glenn doesn't know where it is, still the side of the net. They finally get it free and go to the back of the net. Here, the point shot, pad save from Gallant. Another backhand, another save, they score. And just a scramble out in front with multiple shots coming on Gallant, and still so much traffic in front of them, almost impossible to see. It's McNeil and Marshall that are out in front. It looks like it's going to be McNeil that gets the backhand off in time, and he's going to make it 5-0 in favor of KV. And that's McNeil's second of the game. And we either have a penalty call or a hand pass, and it's going to be a power play coming up for Lewisville. And it's Caden McGoldrick headed to the box. For KV, so Lewisville is again going to have another power play opportunity at just less than 1.5 remaining in the first to try and at least get on the board before the end of this period. An attempt to keep it in is just barely not successful. Using his body to get outside the zone is Liam Poirier. A cross-ice pass. Stepping in for KV is Lohman with the shot. And that one misses wide. It's shot off the boards, hits the ref. That one stung a little bit and will go back for Lide. And ref definitely feeling it, but still staying in the game. Lide going cross-ice for Kennedy. It now gets blocked and is backhanded outside the zone by Gracewood. Poirier still moving in with it, trying a shot, and had fanned on it. Less than 45 to go now in this first period. A well-dominated period from the Caps. They say themselves up by a score of 5-0 on Lewisville. Pass across, that one going in between the feet of Steers. Going back for it is Gagnon. Back skating, waiting for an option, and will go around the net with it. Lidet waiting, turned over, they score. And it's Gillis that gets his second of the game, short-handed. And KV now up 6-0. Still 20 seconds left to go in the first period. Back behind the Lewisville net. Here's Boudreau. Skating it with speed, trying to make a pass over for Kennedy. He leaves that one for Matthews. Matthews steps in, 1 second left, the shot off the blocker of McIntyre, and that ends the first. And we're back second period of action between the Lightning and the Capitals. It's 6-0 KV after one on Maritime Stream Team. And back for a second period. After a tremendous period from KV, they now have a 6-0 lead on Lewisville. And look to continue the pressure. Shot from the blue line deflected, saved by Gallant. And the rebound still loose. Poking at it is Mays. It's still loose between a couple feet. Who's got it? The shot is just over the net from Gillis. Trying to look for his hat trick. Had found the puck, and he has a tremendous shot with him. You don't want to let him shoot from the slot. Mays working his way in. He shoots and just misses the net. At the blue line, it's Longo. Trying to keep the line. Whacking at it. Doesn't keep the line, but does keep possession. Lightning working their way back in. Gazard trying to find it in his feet. Stepping in with it is Matthews. He's stripped of the puck and now goes to Kennedy. Trying to go across. Was broken up by Goggin. Goggin going up against the penalty box. Gillis trying to swing it and pick it up. It'll go to Mays. He goes to Goggin at his blue line. Cleared into the KV zone. Now bringing it back is Matthews. Pass to Kennedy. Sliding in. Dropped off. Gazard with the shot off the blocker of McIntyre. Gazard waiting. Kennedy. The shot saved. Matthews is down in front. Bit of a scramble out in the slot area. And Kennedy had tried a shot. Matthews had been lying on the ground from the result of the net battle. Here the Caps quickly winning the draw. McNeil speeding up on Boudreau. McNeil all alone on Gallant, and he makes the save. Behind the net, and now moves into the corner. It's Vieno trying to put that in front. McNeil trying to have a whack at it. Lightning going back quickly the other way. Avon waiting. The shot into the glove of McIntyre, and that'll halt play. And here's the breakaway from McNeil that's saved by Gallant. The rebound is waiting right on the doorstep. And KV just unable to bury it. Here's a shot from the blue line. It's deflected. Looked like that was Gagnon. Avon going down low. Goes high in the air. Taken away by the Caps. McNeil again streaking up on Boudreau. He's going to have a long shot, and this one's gloved bound by Gallant. Lidet chasing after it in the offensive zone. Going around the net is Lohman. Giving it away. It's shot outside of the Lewisville zone. This one not going to go for an icing. KV now with it behind their own net. Trying to escape the zone here on his own accord is Gracewood skating up. Has gone end-to-end with the shot that had been deflected wide by Lidet. Put back behind the net of Gallant by Lohman. Hit off the wall, going out. Lohman with another try and blocked by Lidet. A dangerous play that'll look to happen at center ice. Lohman had gone flying behind the play. Unsure exactly what happened. Here's Lohman catching it again. Here's a shot that doesn't get through. Collision along the board. That was Avon. Gagnon around the boards. Blanchard battling up with Lohman. Lohman catches it and tries to bulldoze his way through a couple men. Here a pass out in front. The one-timer that had ramped up and gone over the net of Gallant. The shot from the blue line that was blocked. That's Lidet again getting in the way and blocking a shot. He has about 3 of them this shift. Now here comes Lidet working up along the left. The shot in and out of the glove of McIntyre, and now moves its way into the corner. Blanchard, Lidet trying to go backdoor and find out one. Gillis working up through center. Sebastian Gillis still with it, leaving that off for Mays. Mays for Gillis. He scores. And Gillis, he's going to get his third of the game. Now going to make it 7-0 KV in the early stages of this second period. McNaughton now in the zone, trying to flip that one out. KV working their way back in. It's Mays. Firing it in. It'll go into the corner. McNaughton going to go up against the boards. That one against Maloney. Boudreaux behind his cage. Working up into the corner. Gets shot back for Longo. Passing it across for Maloney. Up against the boards. That's taken away. Lightning bring it back into the zone. And it's shot back out again by Maloney. Doing some great work on this shift so far. KV in the zone. Shot on Gallant. He'll make a pad save. Now it's Mays that goes into the corner. It's the Lightning that bring it out. LeClaire brings it in, shooting it right next to the linesman. And the collision on gone right next to the ref in the KV zone. Longo trying to make a light backhand pass. Now it finds its way off a bounce over to McNeil. Leclerc moving their way back over the blue line. And a shot into the glove of McIntyre, and that'll go for a whistle at 9:44 of the second. Kennedy circling up above the blue line. I tried to get a shot off. That one's sent back down by Matthews, finding Gazard. Backhander. I tried to put that out in front, and that was flung away before any shots could happen. Blackman moving back in his own end. Trying to force it by Broderick of the Caps. Another try for the Lightning to get out of the zone. Still kept in. Still bobbled. And it will still be kept in by McNeil right on the line, blocking it with his body. Going back for it, Halpine. I tried to pass that one up for Viano. Blackman going back towards his own end. Pickpocketed by McNeil. And now it'll go over to Matthews again. He's pickpocketed by McNeil. Moving to the middle. Then he gets the puck stolen from Boudreaux, trying to send that one up for Kennedy. Moving up, Gazard cutting in and just barely offside. And the Lightning showing a bit of their frustration so far. Have just not played as well as they have wanted to. At least in this first half of the game. There's Lohman colliding with Lidet behind the net. It's tapped out to Avon. After an offside, it's won by KV. Pass up from Steers that had gone into the neutral zone. Trying to work his way back. It was Avon. Now it's sent to Anthony Avon out in the middle. And a penalty coming up to Lewisville. Looks like it's Alex Avon that's going to be directed to the box for a roughing. We got less than 8 to go. KV going back to the man advantage. Where Mays goes in to take the draw. Had one edge, tried to get that one over for Gillis. Rimmed around for Boudreaux. Boudreaux now gets it outside the zone. Up with speed, there's a shot that never made it through. And that one from Blanchard. Avon trying to move his way down into the zone. There's Gillis. A pass that was intended over for Poirier, but it'll get over for Mays. Mays stepping in, trying to get that over for Poirier, and that pass was behind him. It'll be kept in at the line here. Now Gillis with a wide open shot. That would have been blocked by a shin pad right in front of him. Moving back towards his own end is Singleton. Caught by the Lightning, poked out in the center. Mays working his way back in, has a shot, and that's saved by Gallant. He got most of it and enough of it to redirect it out into the corner. Here's KV in the zone, a slap shot by Poirier. He'd also taken a stick with him. Here's a shot from the blue line on the pad of Gallant. He's able to see that the whole way from Singleton. Now Gillis trying to find his fourth into the zone. Backhand pass, no looker, and no one there. It's cleared outside the zone. Gracewood circling back, making a nice pass. Here's McNeil. Working up the right with his speed. McNeil in, backhander, back door, and just sent wide. It's Gracewood that have been waiting right there for. Here's Broderick with a shot. That one had never gone through. Less than 20 seconds still to go on the man advantage, and another penalty coming up for Lewisville. It's Alex Boudreaux that's going to head to the box. I just got his hands a bit tight in to Liam Poirier. It looks like that's going to be Avon. So the two Av1s in the box together. Now it's a 5-on-3 for the next couple seconds to the shot from Longo from the blue line. That's deflected up and into the glass. Still rimmed around. KV still with it up at the blue line. Another shot attempt, this time from Searly. That doesn't hit the net. Sent down by Longo, down in the corner. Working up, back. McNeil, the shot scores. And that's right as the 5-on-3 had ended, so it's a power play goal for McNeil. Now making it 8-0 with 5:45 remaining in the second. Five-on-3 had just ended. And that'll go, and we may have a penalty call coming up against KV rather. So we'll see a Lewisville power play. And it's going to be Jack Steers for interference. So Lewisville on the man advantage. They give it away. It'll be iced down. Over to Gallant. Leaves it out for McNaughton. McNaughton off the board. Here's Boudreaux. Working up to the blue line, trying to go across for Hambrook. Just unable to get it. He does poke it into the zone. It's shot back out. And again, having to reset. McNaughton getting pinned up by Lohman behind the net. Taken out by LeClaire. LeClaire up the middle, waiting, going on the right. LeClaire moving past one to the middle and to the side of the net. And unable to score, and shot back down. One-on-one now. It's Mays going against McNaughton. What a move. Mays in, shot scores. And Mays scores short-handed making a nice little toe drag to get by McNunn. And all alone with Gallant, and he decides to roof it. Now make it 9-0 KV. Gazard trying to move around one, putting it to the side of the net. Still Lewis was a man that comes flying in. That was Matthews that had accidentally tripped up Halpine. And there's Matthews getting cross-checked in the back of the head. It looks like he's a bit slow to get up. We have at least one more capital. Four on four for 59. And it looks like those penalties will even out. So Lewisville still on the man advantage. So it'll remain how it is, still a 5-on-4, and here comes Gillis shorthanded. Gillis in, has a shot that goes above the net. Blackman is stripped of the puck. Going behind the net now is Maloney. Maloney being pinned up by Blackman, doing a good job at killing this penalty. I've won. Working his way behind the net, 30 seconds left. Makes a stretch pass. Gazard is out of his reach. If he had gone, that would have been a chance for a breakaway. Gazard backing that in front of the shot, blocked. Another one, and a save from McIntyre. Offensive faceoff of one. That'll look for Kennedy in front. Here's Lidet from the blue line, and his shot is blocked by McNeil. McNeil curling around in his own end, trying to get around Gazard. It's cleared out to Lidet, who's outside the zone. Lidet, saucer pass to try to get that one over for Boudreau. Penalty now expired for KV, so it's 5-on-5. This one to be shot back down next to Gallant, and we'll go for an icing. And we got just less than 3.5 to go in a lopsided game between Lewisville and KV on MST, broadcasting every game live of the HMB U18C Provincials. Lewisville winning the draw. Lidet with a toe drag, stepping in. Lidet, another move, and this time it got caught in his feet. KV now regains possession. Going behind his cage is Gracewood. Moving it around the board to try to get that to Viano. Viano getting that out, trying to get that to McNeil. Pressure from Boudreau, spins around him. Boudreau with a shot. That's McNeil rather with a shot. Still loose out in front of Gallant, and he manages to make the save. About a very small 3-on-0. McNeil had the chance to either shoot or pass to one of his two teammates that were waiting out in front. Decided to shoot from a sharp angle, try to get a rebound. And does get the rebound. Landing him with their own zone. It gets past F1 and will go out. It's shot back in with some speed by Gracewood. Back into the Lewisville zone. Boudreau trying to get it ramped over his stick. Finding it is Viano. Taken back by Boudreau. Back by Viano. Thrown out in front. And still loose. And we're going to have another Lewisville penalty. Here's a shot, a fake shot from Gracewood. Able to dangle out his man. Loose out in front. It's poked away. And here It's going to be a cross check. Still unsure of exactly who it's against. It looks like it may be Malachi McNaughton. So it's going to be Malachi McNaughton. Should be right in the middle here. Just under 2.5 left. It's Malachi McNaughton going off for a cross check, giving KV another man advantage. Avon skating up with speed. A one-on-one, trying to get around Longo. His shot blocked by the blocker of McIntyre. Avon putting that out in front. It's loose and sent back by KV. Having to skate back with speed is Gagnon, trying to get past Lohman. Lohman blocks it, gets into the zone, and he's pickpocketed by Boudreau. Boudreau shot out. It's in the middle. Thomas Longo skating back with it, looking for an option. His pass is picked off. Avon skating in with the shot, and that one's blocked on the way there. Boudreau at the line, barely keeps it in, passing it across, and that one is taken away and picked up by McGoldrick. Lohman extending his stick, getting that past Gagnon. Lohman with it, trying to put that out in front. Only player there is in a white sweater, so it is sent out into the neutral zone. Boudreau with it behind his own net. Has time, he'll use it to shoot it all the way down. That pass is picked up by Hambrook. Hambrook going into the corner, trying to outmuscle his man. And then it's taken away. 3 Capitals hounding him. Now potential 2-on-1 led by Mays. Mays with it to Gillis. Didn't get much of it. Saved by Gillis. And a little bit of rough stuff after the whistle. Quickly shot out by Lewisville. KV now going to have to regroup. Sitting back into their zone. Fanning on a clearing attempt that was almost caught by Avon. Now going back for it is Doan. Looking out in front, trying to get that one over for Hambrook. KV now cleared outside their zone. Maloney getting pressure up near the Time-Pierce box by Hambrook. But it's now Mays that takes it in. Mays waits. Spins a circle around Blackman. It's trying to send that in front to Gillis, and it was behind him. Now penalty expired for Lewisville, and this will be an icing. Last 20 seconds before the break. Quickly cleared in. Moving back, pass toward the blue line. A nice fake from Gracewood, the shot. Save, rebounds, kicked out. The blocker of Gallant falls off. Last 10 seconds. Lightning bring it down. They'll fire it. It'll go all the way to Gracewood, and that will end our second period. That'll be a score of 9-0 in favor of KV. In 10 minutes, we'll be back for third period Lightning and Caps on MST. And here we go, last period of play for this game. And we are going to be headed to straight time. This will be 15 minutes straight. Starting off with a quick icing call. The Lightning offensive zone, there's a clapper from Kennedy that doesn't get through. Around the hash marks, it's Matthews. Chucking it back to Boudreau. Boudreau behind the net, trying to see Gazard. Gazard trying to put a backhander out in front. Taken away by Lohman, and outside the zone it'll go. Matthews with it at center. Skating in with it, making a nice move and trying to pass that along, and no Lightning players there. Gazard trying to trudge his way to the back of the net, and we have a penalty coming up against KV. We're going to have a Lewisville Lightning power play. Heading to the sin bin is Jack Steers. Lightning now going to have a power play for the next 2 minutes. It quickly starts with a clear by KV. Skating back, Boudreau. Waiting in his offensive zone. Going across for Avwan. Avwan trying to step in. They just got to stay on side. There we go. It's quickly poked out by Mays and out to center. Then he goes back to the zone for Thomas Longo, and he'll make no mistake. This will go around the cage of Gallant out in the net. Mays with it behind the Lewisville cage. Lightning with it, it goes out. Gillis is going to shoot it back in. Saved by Gillis, or by Gallant. Still out in the center. Keeps rattling around every stick, going up high, and finally caught down by Mays. Mays stepping in, he'll whack it around the boards. Less than a minute still left to go on the man advantage. Cleared back in by Gillis. Avwan sent it into the netting, and that'll be a whistle at just over 12 minutes. Lightning after winning the draw. Trying to work his way around the zone is Lidet. Lidet through center being chased by Mays. Now has to go against Halpine. Lidet had tried to drop it to the blue line. Winding up is Blackman. And it's blocked somewhere out in front. Lidet and Mays were tied up. It went off one of the two. Going back in the corner, Halpine tried to clear it out. It's given away. Lidet steps in with the shot. Saved by McIntyre and the rebound. And they just couldn't get on it. Lewisville power play now expired. And another penalty coming up with a collision that happened behind the net. And it looks like it's going to be a Lewisville penalty. That one's going to go against Dominic Liret. We're going to have a KV man advantage coming up at, I believe that was 10:30 exactly. Hard to tell what straight time. But KV going to go to the man advantage for the next minute and 46. Quickly saved by Gallant. So we'll have another whistle that kills off more of their penalty. Off the top, off the draw. Won by McNeil. Goes behind the net for Broderick. Broderick trying to get around Gagnon. Successfully does it for McNeil. One-timer, and he scores. And a very well-played 1-T. McNeil positions himself perfectly. He goes right to his tape, and he makes no mistake. Well, KV has now reached double digits in this game. They've reached a score of 10-0. Working up. A pass to Matthews. Trying to get in past Leclerc. Skating back for it. The Lightning captain Kennedy working it up to Matthews. Stepping into the zone just onside, and he's quickly poke checked away by Lohman. Matthews stepping in again, going cross ice. Gazard trying to make a couple moves. Now he goes behind the net where Matthews is waiting, then he throws that out in front. And the stick of, I believe, that's Kennedy, was just tied up. He was unable to get one on net. Shot across. This one's touched up by Matthews after a high stick, so no call. Go back for McNeil, and he is crunched at center. And apologies, that's Luca Vieno, who is body checked. And going to be another penalty call on Lewisville. So it's another KV penalty, and this time it's against Braden Kennedy. Would have been a clean body check and competitive. So another man advantage now for KV. With just less than 8 minutes left, trying to hold the line is Longo. Slips and falls, so Matthews has a chance to clear. KV now on their own end. Longo along the red line, almost taken away by Boudreau. Now he makes a safe play and dumps it in himself. McNaughton turns and fires. This one to be kept in by Lohman. Rimmed around Blanchard. That puck's just out of his reach. Still kept in at the line, barely, and will be shot in and dumped by Singleton. And there's McNunn. Successfully will send that down the ice. Blocked by McIntyre, throwing it up against the glass. Lewisville now clearing the zone. Boudreau tried to send that one over to Gazard. It's dumped back into the Lewisville end. They have about halfway have killed this penalty so far. A dump out, hit off the skates of Gillis, and back comes Av1. Alex Av1 skating in with a save from McIntyre off his glove. Boudreau skating in, trying to throw that out in front. That one sent back into the corner by Surly. Lewisville doing a good job to kill this penalty so far, as Boudreau and Av1 have kept them in, have kept KV inside their own zone. There's a pass that went in and out of the skates of Maloney that caused a delayed offside that was dumped back in. Still 30 seconds left to go on the penalty call. Loose out in front here, walking in. Maybe a shot that just skipped over the stick of Nathan Marshall. Going back to the blue line, it'll just be held in here by Halpine. Goes down into the corner, waiting and turning around his maze. Getting a bit tangled up as he tries to go behind the net for McNunn. Again, here's a shot from Halpine that had gone up just a bit too high. Penalty about to expire, going back the other way with speed was Boudreau. And now that'll end the call on Kennedy. We're back to 5-on-5 with still just under 6 minutes to go. Blackman trying to send that one across. Av1. Alex Av1 skating in. He's poked loose. Stopped by Lucas Blackman. The blue liner just gets underneath his feet. Now going back the other way. Here for KV. Broderick. Pass to the middle. A shot that just misses the net. A loose puck. Now Broderick looking for it in between the feet of Gallant. Going up to the blue line for Halpine. Now cleared from behind the net. Battling for it was Blanchard. Left off. Broderick waiting, trying to send it that out in front. That one blocked by Lucas Blackman. And cleared out. Potential one-on-one. Trying to get by is Av1, defending by Halpine. And it's Halpine that makes him and forces the dump in, and no shot given up. Now quickly shot out, blocked by Av1. Lightning players making a couple changes. KV now getting that out to center. Lidet along the red line. Waiting, stepping into the zone. Dominate. Lidet waiting, cutting in. Stopped by Broderick. Held back in by Boudreau. Broderick now again with possession, trying to backhand one. That one's blocked in the feet of Boudreau. Alex Boudreau, pass in the middle. Lidet trying to get a shot off. Tied up with McNeil. Have one. Waiting in the corner, trying to get this one around. Number 12, Searley. There's a big collision. Boudreau goes down, and Av1's not happy, getting his stick high in the face of McNeil. And now a bit of a tussle here at center. Lidet is going out to McNeil, gives a shot, gives another one, and here we go. And Lidet is not happy at all of how this team, of how the play has gone so far, especially after a collision, knocking down Boudreau. He seems to be all right, however, getting to the bench just a bit slowly. And Lidet is going to see the gate. So as of right now, McNeil heads into the box for KV. While in straight time, they may take the whole clock off trying to discuss these penalty calls, and we'll be back on MST to figure out the end of this game between KV and Lewisville on the Maritime Stream Team YouTube channel.
Lewisville number 14, Anthony Av1, 4 minutes for head contact and a 10-minute misconduct. KV penalty number 7, 4-minute head contact, 10-minute misconduct, and a 2-minute for body contact.
And out of all that, we're going to have a Lewisville man advantage for most of the remainder of this game. McNeil's going to get a 4, a 10, and a 2. And Lida's going to get a 4 and a 10. So we now have a Lewisville man advantage to end off the end of this game. There's a shot that goes right. Boudreaux, one-timer, just missing the net. Another shot, another one-timer attempt to Kennedy. Now being brought out of the zone. This one by Steers. Boudreaux gonna throw it across. Sent back for Alex Boudreaux. Boudreaux moving in across the blue line. Still in and just gets knocked off the puck last minute and goes for a massive hit. And here we go. This may result in something. Here coming to protect his teammate is Singleton. And another Lightning player just upset. Alex Boudreaux just showing off his frustration. That's a 4-minute call. Or maybe it isn't. Looks like it's going to be a 4-on-4. So we're going to have a KV power play now for the remainder of this hockey game. After the Alex Boudreaux 4-minute body contact or head contact call, one of the two. Kennedy working in with a shot. Doesn't get it off. Moving it around the net is Longo. Vieno trying to put it out of the zone. It's sent to the line and a shot. And potential 3-on-0. Gillis missing a pass. Stepping in. Vieno trips himself. And now he goes back with Kennedy. Kennedy trying to move his way back. Sending it across. A little chip. Held in by Leclerc. Leclerc working in. Trying to go around the net. Leclerc still with it. Had lost the puck now. Bringing it in is Boudreaux. Boudreaux out in front. Av1 trying to get a stick on it. Loosen the blue paint. Less than 10 to go. Shot to the middle. Will be taken behind the net by Lauman and rimmed all the way down. And that will end this hockey game by a score of KV 10, Lewisville no score. And our next game, it's Grand Lake and Restigouche North, both teams 1-0. Or rather, Grand Lake is 2-0, and Restigouche is 2-0. So they are both 2-0 and look to secure first in the division.
Your MVP for Lewisville, number 8, Damian Boudreaux.